All right, hello, episode 43. And today we have a special guest. We already announced it last week. We have as a special guest Paul from Pimoroni. Actually, we are lovers of Pimoroni at Balena. We use Pimoroni products.
We sure are. We sure are.
One of our products that we use as an internal communicator at Balena, it's the Inkyshot that we actually dedicate, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 episodes maybe of the
Yeah, we've built Inkyshots with Cat. Mark, you're always good at remembering. What episode was it? 26, 27? I don't know. You have to go back and look in the playlist.
Exactly. When it's multiple, it's tricky. Yeah, I just can't remember one. But yeah, so
you're good at
it. We actually love Pimoroni, and I contacted Paul a long time ago. Actually, Chris told me, hey, maybe we can do an episode with Pimoroni. So Chris, if you are here watching the stream, join us, please. So David, are you okay?
Am I okay?
Yeah, everything
I'm
good?
okay. How are you today?
I'm good. Paul, feel free to introduce yourself.
Yeah, Paul.
How are you?
The audience knows Mark and I already as developer advocates here at Balena, but you want to give a quick introduction to let folks know who you are?
Yeah, so I'm one of the co-founders of Pimoroni with John. I'm more on the design side. He's more on that kind of doing stuff side and getting stuff done. But I try to keep up with him. So my focus is on aesthetics with a little bit of engineering, and just finding cool stuff and making stuff cool for people. That's really the focus for me.
We're going to talk about that.
Awesome. Yeah, we're going to
drawings that you have.
We're going to get into that for sure. And I'm going to drop the URL in real quick for everyone. Although I have a strange feeling that most folks already know this.
I have this feeling, David, that we will devote all the episode on what's on your desk. So maybe
I have a strange feeling it's going to be 58 more minutes of what's on your desk today.
Exactly. So maybe first let's make a couple of announcements.
Okay.
We have some positions open, right? We are hiring at Balena.
Yes, we are. Front-end engineer, I think, is open, and lead security, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's correct.
Let me go check.
So if you are a front-end engineer, you're a lead security guy or girl, and you want to join and have fun at Balena, learn. Apply.
Okay. I am putting the link in right now for that one. There we go.
What else? Go to Hub. We have new applications. So we will get there.
Hub has new applications? What's in there?
Yeah, sure. We have Jenkins for Intel NUC, made by a community developer. And
very cool.
I think we have some other applications new from today from the Hardware Hacker team. And maybe before first getting into the what's on your desk, maybe, Paul, if you want to introduce a bit of the story of Pimoroni.
Yep.
Why did you create Pimoroni? And maybe what does it mean, Pimoroni?
That was going to be my very first question, so that's probably a great transition. Yeah, you want to give a little brief background on Pimoroni and then tell us what on earth does that mean?
Oh, yeah. So 9 years now is getting harder to summarize, but me and John, we're kind of web hackers we started off at. I was kind of the front end, John was back end, and we did business stuff around that. And we hung around on Hackaday and places like that. And when Raspberry Pi came along, I designed the logo. From the back of that, we decided to start making stuff for the Raspberry Pi. And we brought that kind of aesthetic from the web and from graphic design into PCBs, into the makerspace as we saw it. And I think that was our magic. And for the company name, it was Pimoroni was the name I had lying around, and it stands for Pirate Monkey Robot Ninja, which just underlies what the fun is about. There's no reason for it. It's just cool stuff.
Yeah, I already knew that because I had I heard you mention that elsewhere, but I definitely was not going to let you get away without mentioning it here.
Yeah, there is kind of a philosophy behind it, because when you're trying to approach a task, whether it's kind of packing up something or designing something. You can be like a pirate where you dive in and solve the problem with your sword. You can be a ninja where you do it precisely and well. Or you can be a monkey where you just howl and throw stuff around until it's finished.
My preferred
Or you can be a robot where you just kind of hack away the task until it's done. No smarts, just results. And yeah, it's one way of thinking about stuff. Yeah. But that wasn't initially the plan. That's just emerged afterwards.
Look at that. Pirate, monkey, robot, ninja. We've got emojis for all of them. Perfect.
Yeah.
And AB
So
is
the
asking,
logo as well. We have a pirate logo, but we secretly have logos for all the others as well.
what? Top secret logos?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
May have to pick your brain on those and see if we can take a look at them, but we'll see. All right, excellent. Well, thanks for the background. Super cool. I mean, I'm looking at the website right now, obviously, and I'll drop the URL into. I had it on as a banner. Let me put it into chat.
We already
so
have questions, David. So
questions are rolling in. It's only been
asking-
6 minutes. How could we have questions already? We didn't even get through introductions yet. But there is the link for folks to simply click through and check out. I mean, I'm just glancing at it. There's Pi Pico, RGB keypad, Pico Explorer. We've got the Inky displays, Kibo 2040. Yeah, I'll do that in a moment. I'm just glancing at some of this stuff. It's just incredible. All of the Hacker and Maker brands are represented. Feather, Microbit, Arduino, Breakout's components, tools. Awesome. So let's see. What questions are rolling in already? Let's see here.
So we have JR asking, why is it Pim versus, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah, Pimoroni, Pimoroni, as in pirate and pie.
Because it's pirate and pie.
Higher.
Mhm.
And the thing is, we're kind of rapidly European and continental in spirit. So we wanted it to be like Peroni and Pininfarina. And on the continent is Pirati, and it's P. The mathematical concept is P. So, yeah, Pimoroni.
Okay.
This is how you say it. Unless you're kind of Lady Ada, who's kind of Brooklyn, Boston, and she's like Pimoroni. And I'm not going to try and change
to get
that.
her on the show.
Yeah. She knows stuff.
Yes, she does know stuff. That is correct. All right, you guys. Well, do you want to head into what's on your desk, Mark? What are you thinking?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, we have to
Do you
get
want to
there.
go there?
All right.
You know that we sing a song, Paul? Do you know the song of what's on your desk?
No.
No?
sing
Or if I have, I've
David,
forgotten
this is the
it
challenge.
out of sheer trauma.
We need to invite someone before the episode 50 that knows what's on your desk.
That knows the song. Yeah, our regular
Sing it
audience knows the song. We might need to find someone willing to sing it live, though. We normally go with a pre-recorded,
pre-recorded
version.
Was the one who.
Yeah. Cue up this video, Mark. We'll do a recorded version. There we go.
What's on your desk?
That's it.
Okay,
That's
that was
the
simple.
song.
See, all you needed to do is send me through sheet music. I could have done that.
Oh, you could
I'm
have
rusty at the moment.
But do you know that we have as well the Christmas edition?
What's on your desk?
Yeah. So yeah, we do have a Christmas edition that we've been playing to death. I mean, it's middle of February, and we're still rolling with that one. What holiday is next? We need to get Chris back on the show to record a new one. Easter edition?
Yeah.
What on earth is that going to be?
I don't know.
Is there an Easter song?
Not that I know of.
You could
All right, I'll look at the
parody White
calendar.
Rabbit
Yeah,
by Jefferson Airplane. That could be
that
dark.
could be something. I'll look at the calendar. I'll check for some upcoming holidays and see if we can get Chris on the show to record us a new jingle. Christmas edition. All right, so let's do it.
We need a desk. Yeah.
Let's do a desk.
Hey, don't spoil.
Whoa.
You start?
Hold on a minute. I guess we are starting with Paul. I was going to go first, but he has now
No.
clearly stolen the show.
Taking that
Yeah.
away from you.
Yeah, he sure did.
I'm sorry.
That's
That
all
was
right.
kind of
Yeah,
mean.
it's all good. Let's see if we can make full solo layout for it.
Sure.
Yeah, and we've got you up there in the corner. Let's grab that banner and get rid of that off of.
I can move myself around.
Can you? Whoa, what?
Ah,
All right.
Okay.
Perfect. You know what? Well, perfect. Just stay right there then.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're going to
we
go
are
one by
looking-
one what's on your desk?
Yeah, I mean, you want to
Let's
start at
make
the
it
top
happen.
left and go around. Where does one even begin here?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we'll start with these because these are the shiniest and my favorite thing. These are all Kibo 2040, which hopefully will kind of touch wood release next week. And this is it's a product based on the Raspberry Pi RP2040 chip. And I think as well as the tiny 2040, this will be one of the first products out there. Just kind of showing how you can turn, the bare chip into an embedded device that talks USB. And
Okay.
they're all 4x4 MX keys. And they're made out of 3 layers of PCBs there.
Okay,
nice
yeah, I can
sandwich.
see that, and I can see the
Wow.
artwork on the back, which we are absolutely going to discuss, but we're going to let that one slide for a moment. So that is the RP2040, which is the new microcontroller, Raspberry Pi, branded and built, that comes on the Pico, correct? I've got that.
Yep.
Gotcha.
So
All right. And
it has the USB stack, which means it's great for attaching like 4 of them to a Raspberry Pi to make your own custom add-ons.
Interesting. And are they... So for a homemaker, I mean, obviously you do need to know what you're doing as far as, the PCB, the layout, the electronic design. But do they sell the bare chip? As I see, you've got one, or
Yeah, this one here.
is that right there? How? I mean, you need the right fabrication in order to build something like you're showing there on the Kibo. But for a homemaker, can they literally buy 1, 2, 3 units of just the RP2040? I don't know that those are sold that way.
Not yet. They will be at some point. So at the moment, we've got the kind of launch partners, which are us, Adafruit, SparkFun, and Arduino. We're just getting our first trays of chips.
Gotcha.
And we're going to play with those, just shake the whole thing down. I'm pretty sure Eben is sending out kind of 10 chips to a bunch of kind of self-selected makers who've got form in making things like this, really, just so they can show the whole process.
Yeah, super cool.
Adafruit have already published kind of Eagle libraries and schematics and PCBs that show like their Feather 2040. So if you want to crib something to make a PCB, start there.
Okay, very cool. So those are the Kibos. And did you say that those are going to be available next week, you think? So those are not available quite yet? That's okay.
We're literally waiting for the chips to land at this point.
Yeah, awesome. All right.
They're somewhere in the DHL network, I think.
Yeah, okay. Well, hopefully they arrive soon. Now, before we go to the second row of items, there's a couple questions already rolling in. What's not on his desk from iShot JR. So no question there, but that's okay. All right, A13, when you are making PCBs, do you EMI test them? Do you need CE cert, or you're selling it as a maker device? So do these products typically go through some certification, or not really as they're bare parts?
It depends on the product to what degree you go to, and there is some kind of common sense about this. If it's a component, I think breakout boards especially, you generally won't need much there because it is just a component that gets put into a user device for people prototyping stuff. Something like the Kibo, we have to go through, at the very least, internal testing with our kind of Roden Swartz rig. We bought a nice spectrum analyzer at auction a few years ago. So we've got this, what is normally a 10 grand device set up with kind of near field probes and an antenna just for a kind of, does this meet what we expect for self-certification at the very least? And that will probably get you through 1,000 units. And that's a sensible way of balancing getting a product out there that's safe and respects EMI with the kind of full cost of doing it these days. But as you kind of get over kind of hundreds or even 1,000 units, that's when you need to switch to doing the kind of more in lab stuff. And that's currently in flux at the moment because now CE testing in the UK doesn't technically work from the labs at the moment. If there is a grace period at the moment where stuff tested in UK labs still can be CE marked, but that will finish in a few months.
Gotcha. As a result of Brexit, I assume?
Yep.
Okay, there you go.
Just more benefits. But we have our own little UK symbol now, which is even worse than the CE one, which is a graphic design fail already. Yeah.
Gotcha. So,
but I think
we
have a lot of makers who ask.
Yep, makes sense.
The thing I've recommended to people is, just get your near field probes out, ask for advice on your design, and just do some basic testing. If you're going to release hundreds of devices or tens, at the end of the day, the response to this is reactive rather than proactive. So there tends to be no action unless your device starts doing bad things. And it's surprising how many devices that are CE marked still are bad behaviors because they haven't been tested properly. And this is very much not in the maker community.
Wow. Okay.
I think hoverboards.
The makers probably, I was just going to say the maker community probably does a better job just from, I guess you could say a little bit of the subject matter expertise, but I could see how the more business motivated, sales driven organizations will try to cut corners, increase profits, yada, yada. So I could see that. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, I think it's easy enough to slap it on, and the enforcement is so lax that if you're a big business, why would you?
Yeah.
But the makers, it's kind of a point of pride, really, to not do harm.
Yeah, super cool. Well, I get that. Next one up is a series of, I'm going to come back to Girish in just a moment. He says, is that a digital photo frame? I'm not sure. Girish, you may need to clarify which exact item you're talking about, but I have a feeling it might be that one dead center, which is the portrait, because it's Inky Mania here, and the color ink. So I have a feeling he might be referring to that one, unless I'm missing something that is a photo frame.
I mean, if you like, we can segue to Mark here for the unboxing and just take a break from the visual kind of overload here.
Unboxing? Wait a minute. What are you referring to?
Or is that a different segment? Am I ruining your show here?
Well,
hold on a minute.
Knowing that we're speaking with Pimoroni, the best thing is to go to shop.pimoroni and buy some stuff, right?
Okay, that was the one. So that
getting.
Hang on, Mark. Let me get the camera on you. Hold on. Okay, so wait a minute. What is that? A Rembrandt? Are you a painter? Mark, what are you doing over there?
This is the new. So maybe Paul, you can give more details about this e-paper display.
So this is an e-ink display with 7 colors, and they've been around for a little while. And we just kind of did our version of it with the good artwork and the buttons just to make it that little bit cooler. And it was amazing that it kind of, even though it's available, having it in this format and making it a bit easier made it resonate a lot more. So people kind of went for it big style and started doing very cool things with it. So I think things like monitoring your power usage, especially with kind of smart meters in the UK, monitoring weather, public transport, and just adding that color to it, it's just enough color to bring real expression to it and not making it feel kind of drab.
Yeah, I love it. What's the size of that display? That looks about a 600
by 448 pixels.
5.7 inches.
5.7, yeah.
5.7 inch. Yeah, I was referring to the physical size of it. So it's bigger than a Pi. How does it connect? Can you flip yours over? Well, yeah, it's definitely bigger than a Pi. And then
by GPIO.
so it's by the GPIO. Okay, so we're not talking about, like a DSI or some other way to hook it up, or HDMI or anything like that. It literally goes straight on to the GPIO headers. Gotcha.
Yep.
Super cool.
There we go. And for the Pi 4, you need a booster header.
Yeah.
It's normally good for the A+ or the 0.
The extenders, to give it a little more height for clearance. Gotcha.
Yep.
I do have
And then you got the buttons down the side here with the right angle mount buttons.
Yep, I see them there. We can see them clear. Yep.
And then the headers there, just so you can add a bit of I/O easily.
Oh, wow.
And extend it a bit with, say, a sensor like this. Put a BME 280 or something on there for air quality.
That's super cool.
Yeah, that looks absolutely great. And that's available, I would imagine, right on the site. Let's see here.
Let's have a look.
Front and center. Let's grab this.
Yeah, so yesterday I received it yesterday, and I tried to balenify it, but I didn't have enough time. But I have something to ask for the audience.
Okay.
What should I do with this?
What should you do? Hold on, wait. We need to make that a little bit larger. Mark, wait till I zoom in on you. Okay, what's at the bottom there? What is that? A little tab? What is that? A protector? Now, Paul, let's get your opinion on this, and we'll take a poll. Let's ask the audience. Regular viewers know that I like to keep the film on. It's a built-in screen protector. Why would you peel the film off of it? So I keep the film on all of my e-paper or little LCD, little displays. In fact, I've got one right here that I can show also. Oh, wait, maybe I don't.
When you received it 10 years ago, it had a screen.
Let's take a quick poll. What do you do with these? Do these stay on or do these get pulled off? So here's one right here on mine. Obviously, the correct answer is you leave that alone. You just leave it there. Now, you could potentially, if it's going to be a problem, cut the little tab right here. But other than that, I mean, you've got a built-in protector. Safety first. See, look, I saw JR. So let's see. What's the verdict, Mark? How are we looking? Leave it on. Never keep it on. RG, keep it on. See, I told you. Look, it's like 5-0. I leave it on. Plastic couch covers. You know what? I don't, but I should.
Yeah.
Chris Burton, leave it on. All right. Now I'm interested, though.
People talk.
Yeah. Paul, what do you think? What's your preference?
As soon as you start using it, you should be taking it off.
Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Paul is the professional. Has no place. He's the professional. So
like when you deploy your website, do you leave the debug information on there? No, you have a nice clean website.
Yeah. All right. I see your point, and as a professional, I will respect that. So, Mark, go ahead. I guess you can peel it off.
As long as we
I
get
will
to
do
share.
it live, so you can
do
watch
it live, just to cause me the anxiety. Wait, let me get the screen back on you. All right, go ahead.
Should I do it now?
Yeah. It's gonna stress me out. Oh, so stressful.
Yeah, that's
So satisfying.
It is a beautiful display.
Yeah, it's super amazing. And actually, let me jump for a second on my table. So I wanted to do like some unboxing.
An unboxing as well?
Yes.
Screen protector does not equal debug info, or is the same as debug info.
So actually, I didn't know what to select from the Pimoroni shop. So I have this automation mini hat and this grow mini hat.
Oops. Hold on. Need to get that back out of there. We go.
Yay!
Grow.
So maybe we can do some live
kit?
unboxing if you want. Does it make sense, Paul? Oh yeah. Look.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what are those two parts. I'm not
Maybe you
familiar
can
with either.
explain. Let's start with the grow base kit, if you want. What is this, Paul?
So grow, we started with the Enviro, which was very popular, and we extended that range. Grow was the next stage where we wanted some kind of plant monitoring and watering solution. And we'll follow that up with the weather station thing, where you can connect the RJ11 connectors to a hat. And these are all the boards with the white silk screen, which is kind of rare for us, because generally we have black, white, and gold, but this is white, black, and gold. But these are the kind of Enviro range. There's the sensors.
Okay, those
Nice,
what
pretty
sensors were
capacitive
those, Mark?
sensors.
Hold those back up real quick. I'm going to switch the camera to you. Okay, what are those? Those are moisture sensors?
They are soil moisture sensors. So can I just separate them, right, and just connect the
No,
connector
you should leave
here,
them on the
right?
tabs, of course.
Yeah, and leave the protector on too.
Wait, there is a screen here. Let's see if there is a protector. Yes, there is.
Oh, there is? Hold on. Switching you back. Yeah, definitely leave that on. Absolutely.
Okay, let's do 1-1 because the people.
Okay. Soil sensor, yeah.
And here we do have the connectors.
Yep.
I shot JR. I want to hear about Paul's camera setup at some point. How does it focus so well? We're known for our blurry cameras around here.
Yeah. So the main camera here does not focus well at all. I've got it on manual focus. So this is a Sigma SP, Sigma FP, and the autofocus is terrible. So I've just got it in manual focus at the moment. And as long as I don't move between kind of here and here, I'm okay.
Don't go anywhere.
Yeah. But yeah, finding a main camera, unless it's a Sony or a Canon that autofocus as well, is hard. So the overhead camera is a Sony ZV-1, which has amazing snap focus.
Yeah, look at that. Wow.
Just
Wow.
freaking.
None of our cameras do that.
Yeah, and this is one with a built-in lens. It's 4K. It's beautiful. If you have one camera, it's probably the most useful for portability with snap focus. The alternative is getting something like a Canon M50, but yeah, the Sony stuff is so strong on autofocus these days.
Yeah, wow. That's incredible.
Yeah. And the rest of it is lighting, really. And at the moment, I've got 2 IKEA lamps here. That's it. But I need to mount something better on the wall so I can stream more, which is something that people have been asking us to do forever. But yeah, there's the wall mounts for the lighting that I need to put up this weekend.
270, yeah. And what was the model again? Real quick, one more time, Paul.
Sony ZV-1.
Gotcha. Thanks. All right. Mark, what do you have over there? Going to you. Automation Hat Mini. Okay. And what exactly is that thing?
So this is a single relay with a screen for some feedback. And it's got a bunch of analog inputs, buffered inputs, and outputs, and then the solid state relay. Is it? No, it's not solid state. Mechanical relay. You hear it go click.
Oh, wow.
And the whole system is built around 24-volt compatibility up to. And that takes care of most home automation tasks, really, and some industrial stuff. And then it's got a little bit of 3v3 on the side.
I guess the next
and then that
question.
tiny screen there.
Yeah. And then, okay, Mark, what are you going to build?
I don't know. I have too many ideas. You know, my daughter of the 6-year-old just watched a movie that other people were clapping hands to turn on or turn off the lights.
Oh, boy.
So yeah,
The original IoT device, the clapper.
the clapper. So I think I will need to do something with this on a microphone.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, let's continue on.
Let's continue.
Extended episode of What's on Your Desk. Let me come back to...
Imagine Paul and Kat together on one episode.
Oh, my goodness. Kat would... Oh, shit. Kat is an e-ink aficionado. Yeah, she would have a field day here with this desk. Yeah, she loves e-ink. She's the one that designed originally our Inkyshot project that uses the much smaller version of those Inky displays.
Right.
Yeah, the 2.9-inch ones are just like, or the 2.13 inch are just a sweet spot for enough info. Yep.
Yeah. That one right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
And he's got a little squid on the back of. I didn't realize. Yeah.
The Inky.
That's the Inky. There he is. All right. Well, let's continue on around this desk. So we've seen the big full color Inky. And now we've also seen the small 2.13. What is the one that is towards that one right there? Yep.
Yeah.
That seems to be more like a medium size, but that has color as well.
4.2 inch, and that's 3 colors if you include white. So it's normally black, white, and a key color.
Gotcha. So I see yellow and I see magenta.
So that yellow's been in the box for about a year without battery, and you can see that the white is kind of getting a little bit yellow.
Yeah.
But after a year, still very legible. So that's good.
Yeah. Insane.
So how long it takes the ink forever, or there is like after that amount of years?
Yeah, how long will it stay?
Depends on the conditions, but if you leave it a couple of years, it should still be very legible.
Okay.
But it depends on the circuit behind it.
And you said, so that one you said, okay, black, white, and a color.
The color that you choose.
Yellow,
on the shop,
yellow,
right?
magenta, whatever. How many were on the big one there with the painting on it?
So that's a 7-color one.
7.
I think that might be a hidden 8th color somehow. I forget what the details are.
All right.
Easter egg. Yeah.
You got to hack.
You
use
a 7-color palette, yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha. All right. Let's take a quick glance over for any questions. What did AB build? A big automation a smart chair with a pie. What is a smart chair?
Yeah,
AB,
tell us more about the smart chair.
Tell us, what is a smart chair? Your
Check
chair
the seat, right?
connects to the IoT of chairs? We'll have to get some, we'll give him a moment to get his comments. I'm not familiar with that one.
Yeah, feel free to let us know if you have something special on your desk as well on the chat.
Yeah, does anybody have any Pimoroni gear on their desks? I've got mine. I'll show real quick. We've seen this one before a couple of times throughout the course of the show, but of course, the Breakout Garden.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yes, so good. The artwork on that one is so good. And the holders, of course, the 6 holders that are on it, just take the sensors, snap right in. So I can just drop in my 680, and we use this for Balena Sense, of course. Build a quick environmental monitoring device. There's the little 680. Come on, focus. Mine's not as good as Paul's. But yeah, so that's mine. And of course, I already showed the Inky. All right, let me see. So did we get an answer? Did AB ditch us?
Well, we have a IoT JR. No, let's see. I got lost in the... Got IoT JR.
Bunch of
hats or fats.
Is it P-hat or fat? Paul, let's get a expert opinion here. It's a fat, so Inky fat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Fat stack. Yeah.
Breakout Garden. Russell, oodles and oodles of Breakout Garden extenders on my desk. Love it. Darn useful little buggers. Okay. You want to keep going on that desk, Mark?
Yes, please.
I have another question lined up, and we'll let Paul sneak in one more item there, and then we'll transition into my question. All right, Paul, what else we have there?
Okay, so we have the organizers in the corner here.
Yeah.
And
That's a
these
good
are
question.
3D printed based on the designs by a YouTuber called Alexandre Chabel, who is full of energy, great at getting stuff done. And he's just released version 3 of this. And I just got a new 3D printer, so I started making this grid format, which takes forever to print, but you get these kind of, you can print these in 1x1, 1x2, and they're deep, they have room for a label, and they're just a great way of organizing all that stuff on your shelf.
Yeah, because that's important. How to
that.
organize all the mess, all the no, not the mess, the electronics. I have some serious problems. Now that I'm moving to another apartment, I had a lot of problems to fit everything.
Storage is a lifelong pursuit.
Yeah.
Should we do like a company just for storage of hardware? Or are you thinking on that as a business model as well?
proper maker hardware storage. Yeah, that's. People have different methods, but I'm really liking those.
Yeah, so far it seems to be working. I'm going to keep printing them, see how it goes. But it's good I can color code them a little bit to make them distinctive.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So you held up earlier when we were testing out the focusing on your camera what looked like some sort of little gamepad. What was that thing?
Yeah. So this is, again, another product based on the RP2040 Pico system. And let me just press the power button there. This one's using a 3D printed case. There's just running a little demo script, which you can't quite see it from there, but it's actually firing off pixels as well. And the screen is just super nice. It's an IPS screen.
Yeah.
And
nice.
Yeah, the whole thing is a Cortex M0 game development platform with minimal buttons, battery in there, and just 3D printed example case. We're hoping we can make proper versions of this, but I think we'll just launch with, again, like the Kibo, layers of PCBs. But it's just super cute.
Yeah.
And again, the artwork on the front there, just...
And that has a full Pico in it, or was that a bare RP2040 that you then built around?
RP2040 all the way. Gotcha. I think you couldn't get the Pico and the battery in there very easily. Actually, maybe you could. The castellations on the Pico make it possible. Because you can surface mount the whole thing. But then there are the complications with kind of the circuitry and things like we wanted USB-C in there.
Yeah.
So same as the Kibo, USB-C all the way these days.
Nice.
The tipping point has been reached.
Super cool.
Yeah.
And we've got some more questions rolling in. I'm going to come up to our G. What's the numeric keyboard thingy on Paul's desk? We covered the numeric keyboards earlier in the stream. So, Paul, if you want to just give a quick one-liner what the Kibo is one more time.
Yep. The Kibo is a USB-C 4x4 macro pad based on the RP2040.
Yep.
3 layers of PCBs. Looks amazing. Works well.
Yeah. Super cool. Next up, what's the micrometer for?
Oh, the calipers.
The calipers.
Yeah. These are the single most useful tool that you can have on your desk, I think. I use these more than anything, which is why I have the Mito Toyos. Mito Toyo, yes. I said it right.
Yeah, nice.
Cool. Yeah.
Is this connected or not? Because we had the screwdriver.
We've had an IoT screwdriver, an IoT soldering iron. Now we've got the IoT calipers. Can that thing connect? Can we somehow control that remotely?
Yeah, people do hack serial into the top of them. I think it does have a serial port somewhere in there, so you can get serial data out of them.
Excellent.
They all built the data connections for automatic capture.
Good to go. The next one, this is actually a good question for transitioning because I want to hear a little bit about this. So Arijit is asking, do you deliver to India? Which in turn brings me to a broader question. So I'll let you answer that one quick and straight away. But more importantly, in the bigger picture, Where do you manufacture, and where do you then, how do you coordinate shipping? I assume, yeah, that's a global operation. So let's cover a little bit about your your full end-to-end production.
So all our boards, we manufacture in-house. I think that's still 100% of anything with a kind of a pirate face on, made in Sheffield. We assemble, we design and then assemble in Sheffield in the workshop, literally right next to my office. And we've been doing that for a long time now. We're on our 4th pick and place generation now, I think.
So I'm just going to glance. I've got the website up. Let's think about, okay, hang on. So Inky, for example, I mean, obviously Pico demo, this Breakout board. Let's take this one. This is a perfect example. So here's a Pico Breakout board. So This is something, let's zoom in a bit. So literally designed and built, I just chose one as an example, but right there in the UK then?
Yep.
So, hoping I didn't choose one that wasn't, but
I don't think there is one at the moment. No. We've only ever outsourced one thing and it didn't go too well, so we stopped doing it.
Man,
but we used to do the FR4 in the UK. There was another company in the UK that made the actual circuit board itself, but we don't do that anymore.
Amazing.
So again, I think given the amount of stuff we do in the UK, from the design to the assembly, test, and everything, we have no qualms about saying these are made in the UK.
Amazing. And then logistics also from there. I mean, I imagine you would need some sort of large warehouse and all shipping literally around the world then?
Yeah. We've been doing kind of worldwide shipping again since the very early days. And growing the warehouse has been really hard. At the moment, we're in 2 warehouses. One which is kind of assembly, manufacturing, and the other is the shipping. But touch wood, in about a month, we'll be moving into our new single huge warehouse. We've just scored ourselves like 31,000 square feet of warehouse office space, so we can unify all the pirates into one ship again. And that's going to be awesome. We've got room to set up a second pick and place line, like a high level one alongside the existing one. And yeah, it's going to be, we're so looking forward to it. Because Sheffield, we love Sheffield. We love being in the center, but trying to find small industrial space for the kind of stuff we do has been hard. And we currently have one building that's very leaky and makes our crew unhappy. So we're looking forward to leaving that behind.
Awesome. Found the Inky Fat. So you mentioned the crew. How big is the crew? I mean, how many people does it take to run this operation?
I think we're at 37 at the moment, and that should go up to 38 by the end of the month. And we're currently looking for a couple of people like you to kind of, do not quite things like front-end development, but kind of help in the shop with packing and shipping orders.
Yeah.
And we just hired somebody else to help out in what we call Bot Lab, which is the assembly and testing part of Pimoroni.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, congrats. That's super cool. Yeah. I'm really glad to hear, the success and the growth even. And the product line all produced right there, and it's just incredible stuff.
What are the top sells here?
Yeah. I had on screen, Mark, we need to go take a look. I think a bunch of questions rolled in. So RG, yes. I think the answer is yes, absolutely will deliver to India. We had A13. What was that one? Where do you source the keyboard switches? Asking for a friend. Yeah, for a friend. Gotcha.
Yeah. At the moment, we source and stock Kale keyboard switches. We've talked to them, and they were the most responsive and friendly company. They also do things like the hot swap sockets that we have on the bottom of the keyboard. If you look there.
Oh, yeah.
Those
Mark, can you grab the
hot swap sockets so that you can just put the switches straight in. and take them out and replace them. So we're going to sell this without the keys and keycaps if you want, so you can bring your own. By default, we stock the KL speed switches, silver and gold, depending on if you want clicky or not clicky. There are a number of nuances there, but most people in kind of the makerspace, clicky or not clicky is enough, and they can get more specialized later on.
Awesome. Wait. Ask about the 32 Blit.
There you go. That's my final unit with the buttons in the wrong order.
I shot JR as a fan of that one.
Yeah.
What's inside of that? That's a Pi Zero in there or no?
No. This is a Cortex. Is it A7? It's a reasonably high-end MCU chip microcontroller.
Oh, it's an MCU. Okay.
Yeah. Runs at like 400-ish megahertz, a bit faster. Has quite a lot of flash and RAM. And yeah, that's our current Kickstarter that we're just getting to the end of delivering the hardware.
Nice. That was on Kickstarter. I missed that. And I normally catch all that stuff. I didn't see that. I missed that one. Okay, wait, you're talking about delivery. So the Kickstarter itself had already closed and you're in production and shipping then? Okay.
Yeah, we were taking our sweet time about it, and then things kind of, there's this pandemic been happening.
I heard about that pandemic that's been happening. Yeah.
That really messed up. And then Pico launched, which messed us up again. So
that's not messed up. Those are just there's just too much good stuff to work on. So let's see here. AB sent me over the chair project. I'll take a look at that after the stream. No problem. The Pico demo board looks sweet. Could you please have a warehouse in Ireland? AB needs to do some shopping.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Yeah, I shot JR. Ask about the 32 Blit. Got it. 31,000 square feet is almost castle sized. All right. A13 is asking you look for people doing PCB design work. So, you said you are growing and have some opportunities. I assume, do you keep job postings on your website?
We do.
Think
Pimoroni.com/careers.
Okay, that's easy enough. /careers. Okay. How many employees at Balena? We are right around 100. Which Arajeet guessed correctly. What is this? Oh, Mini is just PCBs and acrylic, no case. All right. One of the things that we haven't covered yet, and I'm looking at the clock, there's only 12 minutes left, so I want to make sure we talk about this, is the artwork that is present on all of these boards. Okay, I have plenty of PCBs and Raspberry Pi, single board computers, hats, connectors, everything. Yours are the only ones that have artwork as a silk screen, or literally as part of the design. What is the story behind that?
And beautiful.
I guess it's beautiful artwork. I guess
Thank you.
The question really is, okay, what are all these other people doing wrong? Why does nobody else have artwork? But tell me a little bit about the design, process or thought, because it's just incredible.
So most of the time, the artwork doesn't matter. It needs to be functional. And if you make certain design decisions with aesthetics in mind, you could actually make a product that's less good for industrial solutions. So you need to be careful about that. This is the maker community, though. Some people care, some people don't. But our point of difference is we're trying to get people who are not normally into this, or who would look at a green circuit board and go, whoa, that's not for me, and make them think, hey, that's pretty. Maybe I can have a look into that. Maybe that is for me, who's not kind of an electronics nerd, to get into. That's the thing, right? Make it joyful. Make it something that people want to play with and that they think should be played with.
So that's incredible. But then my follow-up question is, who does this art? Because obviously in many of these situations here, I mean, I could barely draw a stick figure. Okay, now someone, whether it's you or someone on staff, is a very talented artist and creative individual.
Now, there's a nuances to this, really. So I'm a graphic designer. I generally go for geometric logos, and kind of, in some ways, graphic design is about being a mashup artist as well. I'm not a very good illustrator. So things like the Inky, I didn't draw that Inky. That's from an old illustration in a book. But the choice of this and how you put it down is very important. Mm-hmm. And that's what I care about, kind of communication design. And just how the thing should look to be a piece of art. So you've got these days where there is an absolute deluge of really amazing art between Fiverr, between stock sites. Stock photo isn't like it used to be. Stock artwork is not like it used to be. There are incredibly talented artists out there, and the competition means that you can get just the best designers to use in your projects from anywhere, really. You can build relationships for not very much money to get the illustration. The bit is kind of the person who can be there to kind of choose the right things, the right products, and just kind of bring them together in a way that makes sense, and then keep the labeling and the communication of what stuff does good as well. So if you look at it and you like the squid, that's not my work. I don't get credit for that. That is, the credit for that probably goes back to the 1960s or even the 1800s sometimes, depending on what you're looking for. But it's the right thing to be on there, and I get to choose it, tweak it, and lay it out right, and marry it with something like the Inky. And that's the work, and that's the job. And these days, most of the designs I do, we used to have graphic designers in-house, but we don't really anymore. It's an odd one to do when the market is kind of so kind of rich with people doing design through websites. So yeah, that's about where it is.
Awesome. Well, that's super cool. I mean, that's a super cool story. We have a question here. The Designers Republic.
Yeah. So before we were doing Pimoroni, me and John did a web agency, and we know the folks at the Designers Republic, Ian and Nick, who's now moved on to his own studio, and they hired us to build websites for them now and again. And we have been out drinking with Ian Anderson quite a bit in some very messy sessions in Sheffield's pubs.
I'm having trouble hearing you.
This is not about you, Siri. So yeah, we know the Designers Republic. Lydia, one of our previous graphic designers who you should check out, like the little cute cartoon Inky, and a lot of our other best design like bearables came from Lydia, who is former Designers Republic as well. So yeah, we know the Designers Republic very well, and they are legendary.
Super cool. Yeah. I'll have to look them up. I was not familiar.
And how it's changed the line of production actually to do these artworks and behind the layout, or it's simple to introduce that during the production.
Yeah, no, I've just dropped you a link for Thoughts Make Things, which is Lydia's studio. And if you look at her aesthetic, it's amazing.
Paste that into the chat.
Yep, got it, Mark.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
perfect.
So you'll recognize some of the stuff on there, like Flotilla, bearables. Yeah.
All right. Super cool.
So were you asking about kind of the technical process end of things?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, on the production line. So making this artwork on the back side of the layout, is it easy, or it just adds complication, or?
That's the bit that we kind of outsource. We don't make the FR4 itself.
Okay.
We would like to do the silk screening potentially, and there are things you can do with UV printers that will survive the process through the oven. But we don't do the bit of actually manufacturing it. One of the hard bits is getting it into EagleCAD correctly. That's a skill.
Yeah. Really interesting.
Yeah. But there are good tutorials online, and most of it is convert to a bitmap at 600 dpi, import, and then hope that the PCB fabrication house doesn't shout at you because you broke their software. So I think this one here, sending the Gerber files were huge
Yeah.
because you've got that done 6 times on the panel, and that's each one of the lines of the image at 600 dpi is a vector square in their software. And so where they would normally have like 30,000 elements, they import our stuff and it's got 300,000 elements or something of that ilk. It's an order of magnitude more than they normally expect, and it can make them grumpy.
Yeah, I can imagine. We need, Mark, you said, so you have one of those, Mark. We need to get that working on Balena, because I can see some really cool signage projects, obviously display projects being built, and then you can deploy to a fleet, in your various locations, whether it's logistics or, even if it's just kiosk stuff. But that's super cool, that thing.
I think the color palette as well should match your brand palette not too badly.
Even if it's, like I say, environmental, mash that into Balena Sense or some.
Actually,
some
yesterday, what I was trying to do is to introduce the Mars Perseverance pictures here. But yeah, still didn't succeed. So still have the original one.
We'll have to hack on that. May need to pick one of those up. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
so Arijit is asking about India because we don't ship there directly. The import customs are a pain. But if you go to Silverline Electronics, they are based in Bengaluru, and they are one of our distributors.
Okay.
And we like them a lot. If they don't stock stuff, bug them.
Yeah.
They should be able to get it from us.
There's the link right there, Arijit, silverlineelectronics.in. Okay. Perfect.
Awesome.
All right. Cool. Well, anything else? Did we miss anything on that desk, Paul? Is there any other? I mean, I'm looking at all of the Breakout Garden sensors that I need to add to my cart, but any other topics we want to cover?
We wanted to Havify Balena Sense, right? But I think we will not have enough time today.
No, not today.
One episode on
next
Balena
time.
Sense. Yeah.
And I can learn the song.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Pie case you have. Which one is that, AB? Paul, which
I don't know. So I've got this one here. This is a prototype I was making for the this is the A+ with the hyperpixel square screen, and trying to make it into a device that you could mount and had a bit more protection. For people who have taken off their screen protector, they probably need something around the screen just to give it a bit more robustness. So that was just me making something. Yeah. On the 3D printer.
iShot JR is asking for a discount. Okay. But AB was asking about a metal one, a metal case. Passive cooling one.
Yeah. I think I've got one of those lying around like
this. Oh, what is that?
Wow.
So that is the heatsink case. Again, this is not something we made ourselves, but we did kind of, when we got it, we kept going back to the manufacturers, the CNC place that makes it, and kind of suggesting little tweaks around it because they got a few dimensions wrong. So they improved the design that's available there to kind of a few places based on our feedback. And we're still trying to get the radius here knocked down so GPIO cables fit better. And they sometimes they change it, but then they change it back. But that's all kind of supply chain stuff, which is super interesting and super frustrating.
I see you've got cases actually with panels already in them. I see a Game Boy. That's perfect. I see a Nintendo. All right. There it is right there. There. That's the one right there. Is that the same one? This is in gray. Obviously yours was. There it is.
Yeah, we stocked quite a few colors.
Yeah. Red, green. Yeah, look at that.
What are the top sales? So it's like Raspberry Pi or it's Arduino, Microbit?
Raspberry Pi by a country mile.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
But
Heavily.
that changed on the time. So I imagine that at the beginning maybe it was more Arduino.
No, Raspberry Pi
no?
for us. We started with Raspberry Pi though, so
Okay.
yeah.
Will come in the 3A, TFT Plus.
I think after that, kind of Feather is pretty popular. Adafruit stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Super cool. Well, I could get lost on this site for days.
Yeah. The thing is, we started going into kind of everyday carry lifestyle stuff a bit now because we realized it was stuff we were geeky about and people don't mind seeing it on there. So if you look at the Troika pens, they are things that I've been using for a while and we got to stock them.
Where?
We need
What
to do
item?
more of that. So type search. Here we go. And type Troika, Troika.
Troika.
Yeah, the construction pens, they are beautiful. We like having objects like these around.
Whoa.
Oh my God.
It's like super German quality. Just chef's kiss.
Nice. Yeah, that is cool. Does it have an MCU in it?
Not yet. It should have.
Not yet. We need the IoT pen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Digital inclinometer, so you can get your angles.
Awesome.
Yeah, that you need to charge by with a USB to write something, right?
Yeah. Or wireless charging.
Okay. Not Pimoroni, but the argon case.
You know the story of the pens in space? Actually,
Pens in space? No,
Yeah.
what pen in space? What are you talking about?
You're going to mention the kind of pencil
Oh.
thing, aren't you?
The IoT pen. The pen in space, I thought it doesn't work because because of no gravity. So the solution is use a pencil.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So actually, the story that I heard is that Americans invest a lot of money to have like a pen that the gravity doesn't affect the ink, but then they discovered that the Russians they use pencils.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like something we would do. Spend a lot of money on a pen to write upside down and then determine, you know what, I'll just use a pencil. Yeah. Okay.
The thing is then, if the lead snaps and floats off, is graphite something you want floating around your space electronics?
That's true. That might not be the best. So maybe that investment in a pen that can write in zero gravity wasn't such a bad idea.
Yeah.
Or maybe just don't write in space.
More computers, right?
Okay. Well, anything else, Paul, Mark? I think we
it
covered
was a great session.
Yeah, I think we
Paul.
covered a lot of cool
Thank you.
stuff today.
Thank you for letting me talk too much and destroy your format utterly.
No, that's this is what we do, and it was awesome to have you. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
We will need second part magnifying all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have
looking forward to have it.
Come back in 6 months and see where we are.
Yep. Absolutely.
Exactly. Let's make it happen.
Yeah. Let's come
Okay.
back. Cool.
All right, Mark, you want to hit the button, close us out?
Sure, maybe we can-
I was just going to say, is there any other wrap-up announcements?
I just pasted on the chat like the balena offer for a front-end engineer.
Okay.
There you can find more careers, also the Pimoroni ones.
Yep, perfect.
What else? Maybe we can announce the episode for next week to have people excited.
What is next week's date? Hang on a minute. You better announce it because I'm not sure I know what it is.
So next week we will have Helium founders.
Oh,
here
that's
on-
right. Yes, Helium
So,
will.
If you want to know more about Helium and this new LoRaWAN network that it's growing on gateways exponentially, you're welcome to come next Friday at the IoT Happy Hour.
Yep, and that's a topic I actually do not know too much about, so I will just sit quietly and listen and learn probably next week. But yeah, that'll be super cool. The Helium community is large and growing larger. So it'll be good to get up to speed on that.
Maybe it's time to buy a LoRa concentrator, David.
Concentrator, maybe. Yeah, I suppose it might be time.
Are you on the LoRa space, Paul?
We have one hub concentrator in our warehouse that's been there forever, and we forgot about it. And it's still running and still updating, which is amazing. So that was from the Things Network.
Cool.
But we haven't concentrated on it yet. But we're well overdue for doing kind of LoRaWAN things, especially with the Pico. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So, okay, I think that's all. I think there are no more questions.
I don't see any other questions. Got the careers links in and next week's episode on helium. So do it, Mark. Hit the button.
Subscribe here.
Right. Yeah.
Buy on Pimoroni shop.
Yep. Go do some shopping.
And see you next week. Have a good
All right.
weekend. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.